Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Well, Andy, lots happened since we last potted. So this one, we can keep this under an hour, I think.
We're just going to do what we do. We're going to freestyle it. We're going to bring up a topic we think interesting. The other guy's going to riff on it and we'll move on.
Okay.
2 weeks ago, I was ill. I really didn't feel good. The whole family got sick.
Yes.
I texted Drew and said, I don't think I can do a pod this week. I need to go lie down. He said, that's fine. It's the off season. Then last week, didn't even think about it. Just because you get out of the routine.
I was on deadline for a couple things and I was like, does Andy have anything scheduled at noon? And I decided it wasn't, and I was like, whew. I was like, all right, I can keep working.
I didn't even think of it. It got to be like Thursday, and someone DM me, hey, what's the schedule in the off season? I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't do a podcast yesterday. Whoops.
Well, sometimes you don't understand. I mean,
honestly, we might not do one next week because I'm probably going to be flying Wednesday.
Ooh, oh, yeah. Yeah, next week is March Madness. I don't have any specific takes for you. Iowa State looks good. I've seen one game. All right.
Duke is injured.
I would. What's that?
Yeah,
You got somebody got hurt.
Multiple players.
Multiple
important players. One for the year.
Terrible. Well, that's too bad.
Oh yeah, everyone loves Duke.
All right. We have
you get to pick the first topic. Whatever you want to talk about.
Thoughts to cover. I have a lot of thoughts on the NBA. I've obviously balls deep in tennis with Indian Wells now at the business end of the tournament. There are Oscars this weekend. Curious if you have any action there. We will not be covering thoughts on the global oil markets. Got nothing for you. We'll also not be covering any of the recent revelations of the Epstein files, even though, again, balls deep in kind of going through the documents. I'm staying very, very up to speed on the war in Iran. Won't be covering that. Won't be covering the threat to the West Coast from retaliation, apparently. Don't think that's real. We'll be covering is there any other sports that matter that are going on right now?
The WBC, a lot of people are having fun with that.
WBC has
if you're not up to speed on that, and this isn't very evergreen because I believe the game's tonight, but it's fun because and I think Joey Kanish tweeted this out, I believe. He said, if it were soccer, you know what would happen.
Oh, park the bus.
Those teams would collude. Because it's soccer, you can make it look like a 0-0, 0-0, I should say, draw pretty easily in soccer, which is like, oh no, another block shot. Just a little outside the crossbar. Not good, but it will be. Nothing will light.
We're setting up our offense, kicking it around in the backfield. Yes.
If you don't know the situation for the tiebreakers and whatnot, the U.S. can be eliminated in the pool play, even though they are second favorite to win the whole thing. If it's basically a low scoring game that Mexico wins and Italy loses, I think if Italy wins, no matter what, the USA would be in as the second place in the pool. If Mexico wins and scores at least 5. It would create a 3-way tiebreaker, and Italy would lose the tiebreaker because they would have given up more runs than us. That's why Mexico has to score more runs. But in a low-scoring Mexico win, I think Mexico winning where they score 4 or fewer themselves, the USA would be eliminated. So it'll be interesting I would buy the umps if I'm those teams. What if the strike zone suddenly got huge? What if people just start taking fastballs that are grooved down the middle? Like, it's gonna be super funny. I'm not cheering against the U.S., but I kind of am because that's the best kind of content. If it is a blatant sell job and they play to a 1-0 Mexico win, my God, Twitter's gonna be a light. So that's what I'm cheering for in baseball. I don't actually follow real baseball that much because. Jesus, I tried to for like 4 seconds, and the first thing I read for baseball this year was one of the Twins' best pitchers hurt himself, and it's like done for the year. Like 2 weeks ago, it was like pitchers and catchers reporting, oh, the Twins' best pitcher's broken. So another fun year up in Minnesota, and we move on to real sports.
I think the Italians are going to beat the Mexicans convincingly, and we'll come through second. Personal opinion. I'm impressed by the Italian team. I don't think they're fugazi. They
look good. They're all from there. It's funny. They're just all dudes from New Jersey.
We are officially an NFL podcast in our bones. I think we should start with free agency. My global take. You ready?
Yes.
Is going to matter that much because these are all players who are available for a reason. And most of the kind of real actionable commentary is around how much teams are overpaying, who got a steal. And honestly, with the way that these contracts are written, nobody fucking knows what the actual kind of compensation is going to work out to be. And the salary cap is so high nowadays.
That's the thing that drives me the nuts. Like, whenever you get the first deal, they rip the Band-Aid off. And I believe it was probably like Alec Pierce. People are like, oh my God, they paid him so much. And it's like,
he's a great player and he's young.
We do this with the first 2 or 3 deals every year. We do this because people are like, they're comparing it and nobody does the mental math, realizing, hey, the salary cap goes up every single year and it's not that big of a deal anymore. It's a lot of money. It's not this year. It's never prices are always going to go up. That's how things are going to work. And honestly, it's a lot of the stuff, you're right. Not a lot of the stuff has moved the needle. More of it has moved the needle for me negatively with some of the losses the Bears have taken for a
Bears Dahlman retiring sucked.
That was more
rough.
Meaningful than almost anything for them. The Patriots doing the, I want five guys. Little buddy, we ain't got 5 guys money, so you get the meme of him eating the peanuts, and they don't get the good wide receiver. They just get it's not a bad wide receiver, but I'm sure they had their sights set on bigger things. People were really mad at the Ravens. I seen some takes like no one's ever going to trade with the Ravens again. I would bet some money somebody would trade with the Ravens again.
The Ravens have just made a trade. That's insane. That's insane. Also, like, I would like to get a little more information on what the hell is going on there. Also, like, it is funny to think that this was some Machiavellian plan and that they had cold feet because they found out that the market was a lot cooler on Trey Hendrickson and that they could get basically a very similar player for similar price point and not give up assets. Like, that's fun to think that this was Machiavellian in that way, and maybe it was. But I honestly,
I think it was eventually. I don't think it was. Yeah. Like, hey, let's set this trade up to drive the Hendrickson market. I think they were playing both things at once.
Yeah,
they pulled the trigger as they sat and looked at the market for Hendrickson, cool little, and they sat there with the doctor's reports, looking at him again and again. I don't think they got any new information on that meniscus. They just knew, like, hey, we have a get out of jail free card. Like, people are going to be mad. People are going to bitch about this, but we can just kick this back for physicals.
Yeah. And
then we can get, damn near the same guy for less, obviously no assets at that point with being a free agent. So fuck it, fine. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah. Well, I personally think it's, I don't know. The Ravens, to me, don't look like a complete team that's really going to compete. I don't know what else they're going to do in free agency and the draft now. But I was, I mean, the Colts did bring back Indiana Jones. 2 years, $88 million is a big number. And this would mark the second time, fool me once, shame on you, won't get fooled again, that Daniel Jones has done this with the team. I don't rate their quarterback situation top 20 in the NFL with him coming off of an Achilles this year. No fucking way.
We saw Kirk. I mean, it's not the same kind of offense that they were trying to run with Kirko. I mean, just remember, it was so heavy based on like the wide zone where he had to get to these handoffs that were so far away from where he was taking the ball, and he was playing under center too much, and he was trying to like move around the pocket immediately with this. Granted, Daniel Jones is younger, but it's still a major injury. I don't think they overpaid because it's a quarterback. And again, everybody spends the money. You have to spend the money. And I think you're kind of just what's our other option at this point? Are we going to go after Geno? Are we going to go after Kyler Murray for similar money, and probably a longer term contract? What are we going to do here? So it's kind of like, hey, 40 million's going rate for a quarterback who's decent. And, the fool me twice thing, I think Sam Darnold, the repercussions of Sam Darnold 2 years in a row looking pretty damn good off a broken career, winning a Super Bowl, that's going to reverberate through some of these quarterbacks where, we all say this, people can talk themselves into a quarterback. Hey, some tread left on these tires. Maybe it wasn't the right situation, right surrounding cast. Like, it's not hard to talk yourself into Daniel Jones. If you watch the tape of the first 6-8 weeks, man, he was pretty decent. And granted, he had a good surrounding cast, a good play caller, and the injury stunk. But
he had a great surrounding cast. Yeah. Supporting cast
so,
was excellent. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it'll be interesting to see if he looks bad and you can tell it's because he's still carrying an injury. It's gonna suck for them. But what else are you gonna
do? Pretty clearly, the hottest commodity in the market was elite edge rushers. And Patrick's brings it. I was going here. Patrick's bringing it up. Like, think about the fact that the three big edge rushers available are 28-year-old Max Crosby coming off of meniscus surgery, who you're going to have to give up first-round assets for. 31-year-old Trey Hendrickson, who almost certainly his best football is behind him. I mean, if he has a DPOY caliber season this year, it will be shocking. But he didn't play much last year, so maybe he does have a little bit of juice in the tank. And then the third big edge rusher was Jalen Phillips, who's had an ACL and an Achilles in his career. He's 26.
He looked good at times.
Good,
but out of the three, and granted, I don't want to put him in the same category as Max Crosby when he's at his best. But like you said, who knows if we'll ever see that level from him again. Phillips is very good. That's interesting to me because it's a lot of money, but it's a fun team. And I think I feel like that team made good moves last year.
Yeah.
All right. So we kind of had that conversation over the summer when we were doing previews a little. Some of the teams, you have to just trust them because they have shown that they're making good moves and they have a good evaluation process. You got to give them benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So I will. It's so much money, but edge rusher is important. That said, you saw this weird shift over the last couple of years to starting to pay good interior pressure guys a little more. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that there hasn't been some massive market on those guys.
All right, let's put the teams in different buckets, and we'll kind of hit each bucket and kind of talk about the teams that are in there a bit, not cover every team. You're cool with that? I'm gonna make 4 buckets. Okay, bucket 1, team with a known commodity at quarterback who is paying that quarterback. Okay, this is of course like Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, plenty of other teams you could put in that bucket. Rams. The second bucket I have is teams with a quarterback on a rookie contract who may be the guy who have serious this is your chance to win now with the rookie QB deal. That is, of course, like your Broncos, your Patriots, your Commanders, your Bears. And then I want the Titans. Yeah. And then the third bucket is literally like you have no answer at quarterback and you're trying to figure out like who is your week 1 starter, right? And then your fourth bucket that's your Steelers, your Dolphins, your Cardinal. No, sorry, I'm not going to put the Cardinals in this bucket. The Cardinals go in the fourth bucket. Fourth bucket, which is literally like, oh, you're not really gonna be competing this year. Like, the rebuild is still
Geno Smith after watching
the rebuild is still in its infancy. And there's more teams in that bucket that I could ever remember, where it's literally just like, we're gonna go out there and play football, I guess. And I'm kind of I kind of want to start with the good bucket. The teams with the known commodity quarterbacks. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Did any team in that bucket do anything to where you're like, nice? They addressed their holes adequately. Whatever they get in the draft is a bonus. They are on track to compete for a Super Bowl. Like that. I have only one in mind of the teams that were in that bucket. What say you?
I mean, I don't even know if I put the Chiefs in that bucket because of the situation they're going into. They're not going into the season with some known commodity. Known commodity means healthy Patrick.
Mahomes will be back. He'll be back week 1.
I know, but it's coming off a bad injury. It's not everybody does it like Brady did it, where it's just like, oh, he's fine. I don't know. All right, the Chiefs, I don't think so yet. The Bills, obviously, no.
Bills are worse off today than they were at the start of the agency, right?
Yeah. The Ravens, probably no. The Bengals, certainly not. Are we putting the Jaguars in that? I think so.
Yes.
Nothing splashy yet, I guess.
They lose Lloyd, and they lost Lloyd, and they managed to stick their finger in Brian Thomas Jr.'s eye. That was and Etienne's gone. Like I don't know if
what are we doing with the Texans? 1 or 2?
Texans are in the 1 bucket, I think.
Yeah,
they're gonna end up paying CJ Stroud, but I guess they learned nothing about protecting him.
Yeah, Chargers are in that bucket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chargers doing an okay job addressing their needs, you think?
I saw a meme that they signed Big Justice. Kid from the Costco guys. I'm like, that's not true. I don't know. Like, did they keep Pipkins? What have they done so far?
They lost Zion Johnson and brought in a guard. Don't remember.
We'll put them in there. Eagles and Cowboys it doesn't matter how you feel about those quarterbacks. They're in that bucket.
Neither of those teams looks complete to me, right?
Not yet.
Do you have a guess as to whether anyone comes in and makes them a legitimate offer for AJ Brown? Is that a draft day deal?
If the offers we've seen so far are true, Jesus, I guess it's going to take quite a bit to pry him out of there.
So AJ Brown's an Eagle. Okay.
Green Bay.
They feel worse today than they were. Bucket. They feel worse today than they were free agency day 1.
The Lions got Teddy Bridgewater and Isaiah Pacheco. They re-signed Rodriguez. I don't think the Lions are worse off. I'll say the Lions have status quoted up.
Okay.
Panthers
will strongly disagree, but I feel like the Lions are kind of getting diminished around the edges with Montgomery
it happened last year. I don't think they're worse right now.
Okay.
Than we saw at the end of last year.
Fair enough.
The Buccaneers lost a veteran wide receiver, big part of their team.
Also, the Buccaneers additions, I was out on all of them. Like, wow, we're giving who, what, huh, why? I thought they're.
You know who's in this bucket now? Established, getting paid. The Falcons.
The Falcons.
We pass. We can come back to that one. That's a whole different box of Hornets.
It's a hell of a box of Hornets.
And then that leaves Rams, Niners, Seahawks. And I don't know. Seahawks re-signed Rashid Shaheed, lost Kenneth Walker. The Niners.
Boy, Mafe gone.
I mean, the Niners.
Tariq Woolen gone.
The memes instantly around the substation versus Mike Evans hamstring were so good. There was 30 like within a second. It was like everyone had that one ready just in case. So I worry about that. But I mean, if he stays healthy, Jesus, that's a good fit. And then that leaves the Rams. I don't know, who was your team that you were excited about?
That's the Rams.
The Rams.
They got 2 good cornerbacks, and they didn't really lose anybody. I thought that was good. They had one surprise retirement. Meh. I think they still have a really good O-line. Yeah, the Rams to me look stronger today than they did when they lost the NFC title game. I
Of
like
those
Jalen
teams,
Watson and Trent McDuffie.
who do you think took
as
the
players.
biggest step back?
Also, they get Quentin Lake back, so I don't know. The team that took the biggest step back of those teams,
the big names, established quarterbacks.
Man, most of my disappointment wasn't even as much of how big of a step back they took as much as it was not doing what I would have guessed they would have done to take a step forward, right?
Yeah, I mean things aren't over. And
the step back, I think, was the Chiefs. I don't really get the plan. I don't understand the plan there. I think the defense for the Chiefs looks like it's going to have to be rebuilt with pieces now. And maybe Spagnuolo is that good of a guy, and you consistently develop young players and then sell them for 150 cents on the dollar. But that's continuing to make a pretty dicey bet when you have prime Pat Mahomes, in my opinion. I think the Chiefs defense looks like they could be quite poor this year with the personnel that they have available right now. What about you? Who took the biggest step back for you?
I did kind of want to push back a little on the Bucks hate. The Anzalone signing was nice, I think. Levante David.
Anzalone stinks. He stinks.
No, he does not.
Yes,
he's good. He was
Anzalone?
He's good. I think he's going into a better situation for him too, with a better coordinator and a better spot for him. No, I like that. I like that signing. I obviously hate losing Evans, but it kind of felt likely. I don't know. I think the easy answer is just the Seahawks were bound to lose some players.
Seahawks big step back with some of their losses. Yeah. Do you think that the Seahawks
that'll be interesting to see what they do now? But the
did you buy into the narrative? Did you buy into the narrative that they were one of the teams with one of the big, kind of bigger budgets in terms of cash to spend under the cap?
Yeah, but did you see him going after Hendrickson or something? I don't know who you're going after at that point.
Keep it together and run it back was an option.
Yeah, I don't know that you go and pay Kenneth Walker a bunch of money though. You don't see good teams hey, let's give this running back another deal. That's what teams do.
He was your MVP of your Super Bowl that you just won. I mean, he's entering his prime.
That's because you couldn't give the defense as a whole the MVP award.
Okay. What do you?
I mean, he did have a good game. I know he's great, but good teams run it back with cheap running backs.
Is there signal in the idea that the Seahawks sat on their wallet because they're for sale?
That is interesting, and somebody did float that because of the sale is. Do you think that affects how they?
I do. I think
that's ugly.
It's a tougher sale if you're selling a team that's, at its spending limit.
Yeah, what do you do when you buy a business? You look at the balance sheet, you look at the accounts.
Sure.
Staying, being in the top third of the league as far as cap space.
It feels engineered
looks better for selling.
It feels engineered a bit as a mega pop, sell high for the Seahawks.
Well, and it's not hard. So if you do this and you're the Browns, hey, we're selling the team, so we're gonna be, we're not gonna go after any free agents quietly, but everyone knows. That's really the fan base is gonna be pissed. When is the best time in the world to do that where the fan base isn't gonna be pissed about it? You have all the goodwill in the world. You just won the Super Bowl. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I think your theory kind of holds a little water because you can get away with it a little bit now.
Okay. Let's go to the next. Well, it's especially wild because, I don't know. I don't know.
Such a well-built team.
It was a really well-built team. It really was, and it does to me at least feel like what was a pretty flat earth going into last year in the NFC West between the Seahawks, Rams, and Niners, and until injuries and home field kind of sorted things. Now it feels pretty clearly to me like the Rams are the best team of that trio. Obviously, an injury to Matt Stafford any point in time changes the entire math. But All right, let's go to bucket 2. These are the teams, of course, that we have we know and or think we have the guy on a rookie contract, and we are spending money to try to pursue a championship with that guy under center. These teams, again, at the top of the list is Patriots, because of course they were in the Super Bowl. Opinion on what the Patriots did with their free agency? Does it make you if you were of the opinion that I can't wait to fade the Patriots next year with the Super Bowl hangover and the tougher schedule, did anything that they did in free agency kind of pivot your opinion?
The Tommy DeVito contract, I think that was the tipping point. No, I don't think the Patriots, a lot of wants, a lot of needs, I guess, but you went and got God, who's the safety from Chicago they signed today? Byard.
Kevin Byard. Draymond
Byard's
Jones,
a little older, but he is
Romeo Dobbs, Elijah Vera Tucker.
I think Byard's still got it. And then Dobbs is a nice signing too. Dobbs is a lotto ticket, I think. And it's not like it's some kid that's been sitting behind on the bench and you never know. It's not like the Malik Willis lotto ticket where, you want the boat or you want the mystery box. It could be anything. It could be a boat. Malik Willis is like the ultimate lotto ticket because it might work or it might have been the smallest sample size ever and he might suck ass. But Dobbs had a big enough sample where it's like, this guy is good. They're just maybe the opportunities aren't there because there's so many damn receivers in this receiver room and they're all graded out about the same. They all get hurt a little bit here and there. Dobbs could be, I don't want to say like that's what unlocks the offense because the offense did look good. Obviously, real good deep ball.
Do you buy into Dobbs as the big free agent signing? Was that plan C, plan D? What do you think?
I think it was plan B. Who else was like? I mean, obviously the Pierce thing was there, and the Pittman, and
I kind of expected them to trade for DJ Moore. I thought that was a decent fit, and I also didn't know why.
That's out there, I guess. And
I didn't, and honestly, I kind of think the Bills traded for DJ Moore specifically to cockblock the Patriots. That was also kind of a feeling I got, but I don't have anything to.
Tubbs is a nice he's a big receiver. I like the fit there. I like that offense already. Elijah Vera Tucker, I don't know. It was he's another one, kind of lottery ticket-ish because he's had so many injuries. He's been in the league for 4 years, maybe 5, and he's been injured a lot, so you don't really know. He could be a lot better than we've seen at times when he's got to play it. I don't think he's looked bad. The Bradbury trade, whatever. So yeah, I'm rosy on the Patriots.
Okay. Broncos. Do you understand what's going on there? Yeah. Do you know why they didn't? I don't think they have signed a single free agent. And I think they've lost 4 or 5 guys that I would have guessed they were going to try to keep around.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm puzzled by that. I'd like somebody to chime in on that because they haven't been super aggressive. Maybe they have been. They just are, they're the second choice in everybody, and they're going to do it through the draft. They're going to do some stuff as we roll on. Truthfully, free agency starts today. It was just the legal tampering period for 2 days. Everything that happened up to this week wasn't even allowed to happen yet.
Nothing. The Broncos, though, could have come in over the top on a couple of things and entrenched themselves as the favorite for the AFC West. I don't think they did that. Would you agree?
Yeah, they haven't added anything, and they've had a few semi-meaningful losses, I suppose. Okay. It's a slight downgrade. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do in the draft.
Okay. Did the Titans do enough to put talent around their rookie quarterbacks to compete for a?
No. They've got some. They've got some time yet to build to that.
I don't have any other rookie deal guys of note in the AFC.
Where did we put the Colts?
The Colts are in the third bucket for me, which is
That's fine.
Presumably they're starting Daniel Jones week 1, but who knows if he'll be ready.
Okay. All right, Commanders and Giants are the rookie ones. Then
Commanders and Giants, yeah. We got Commanders, Giants, Bears, Saints are the teams that I have with, I guess maybe Panthers. Is Bryce Young still on a rookie deal?
I think he got his 5th pick up, so it's technically
they're not technically paying him yet. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Giants getting a lot of flowers, weirdly. I don't really like any of the players they grabbed. What about you?
They were in on Hendrickson. They were in on Dubs. They got what?
Isaiah Likely, Patrick Ricard, Ardarius Washington. These are all former Ravens. I'm just naming former Ravens who are now Giants.
Leo Chanel.
Tremaine Edmonds, Greg Newsome. The Greg Newsome contract was pretty good, but honestly, they lost Cordell Flott, who probably was pretty similar to grading out as Greg Newsome. So that's a lateral.
Odafe Owe? Can I sell you on that?
Is he a Giant now?
I thought he's a Commander.
Oh, he's a Commander. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's I can live with that. I mean, it's not Hendrickson, it's not Crosby, but he's good. It's a nice edge piece. You have needs on your defense.
They, I mean, the Commanders spent very aggressively on their defense. Odafe Owe, you mentioned Clavion Chasen, just a 1-year deal, but he played great last year. Leo Chanel, solid linebacker. I personally would like to see him get a 90-10 snap share relative to Bobby Wagner, but we'll see. Nick Cross
they were
in
on
mover.
Linderbaum too.
Amik Robinson is not a needle mover.
No, they were kind of bridesmaids on a lot of these moves because
bringing back Laramie Tunsil was good.
Yeah, they aggressively went after Linderbaum before he went to the Raiders.
Yeah. They got Marcus Mariota back for cheap. They might need him.
I don't know. Like, it's a team that needed. Why hasn't Bobby Wagner retired yet? I don't know, man. He should just slide. Just one day come out to practice in a quarter zip. I'm a coach now. I work here. No, I don't want to say. I want to say they made some nice moves.
Okay.
I can live with that.
I can live with the Commanders offseason too. I thought it was fun. Bears offseason has been a little sad. We substitute Drew Dahlman for Garrett Bradbury. Don't love.
That's a big downgrade.
We substitute DJ Moore for Khalif Raymond. That might end up being addition by subtraction just because of how the targets get redistributed now with Odunze and Burden coming on as young. Odunze, Burden, and Loveland coming on as like really, really outstanding young skill position players. And then on the defensive side of the ball, it looks like a lot of the same. Devin Bush was a weird move. Didn't love. Kobe Bryant's good safety, but again, kind of lateral. What do you think?
Did you mention Edmonds going to Chicago or going to New York?
I did. Don't really care for it, but Edmonds to Bush is lateral.
Yeah,
at best, and you're paying. I feel like you're paying for Devin Bush's like a very, very potentially fraudulent signal from last year, where it was it's over and he had one last good year, but maybe I'm crazy. So
Bears downgrade. I think that it kind of went without saying. They had too many losses so far, and they need to make something happen here, or really crush it in the draft. I guess. Did we skip the Giants? Are we not saying they're in the rookie bucket?
No, they were in the rookie bucket. We talked about how all they did was bring in Ravens.
Oh, I thought we were talking. I was still talking about Washington.
You're talking about commies. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giants bring in Isaiah Likely, Patrick Ricard, Ardarius Washington, Jordan Stout,
Jason Sanders.
He was he a kicker for Miami?
Yeah, that was a huge problem for that team, kicking. So they needed that. All right, we'll move on then.
I feel like the Giants have gotten a lot of flowers when they don't deserve them. That was my opinion.
Yeah.
All they did was all the Giants did was hurt the Ravens. That's my opinion. Saints looking a little frisky with this.
A little bit. Revamp? And they were, how many years has it been since we've been like, oh, the Saints are in cap hell and they need to fix this? Like, they've kind of maneuvered their way into a decent position here. So if they do have something in Shuck, they're a frisky team here up and coming, especially in a division where it's like, what if the bottom finally falls out and we don't have enough skill position players and Baker has a bad year? What are we worried about in that division?
What are you doing if you're kind of, I guess, where are your needs in the draft if you're the Saints? What are you trying to do here? Wide receiver?
It's still everywhere. Offensive line.
No, the Saints' offensive line looks dangerous now.
So, are they healthy? Is everyone coming back?
Fuaga and Banks are a massive amount of draft
need
capital
interior
invested in those two players. They got David Edwards, who I think is
everyone's
going to like a couple weeks into the season. If the Saints' offensive line is going to be playing good, everybody's going to be like, "Oh, this steal of the free agency was David Edwards. Yeah. He's good. He's a good guard."
Yeah. Edwards is nice, but you still need help interior. I'd say your main need is probably edge rusher. You have a high pick. You can go after one of the the second or third edge rusher in the pick. I mean, most of it is defense. You need help at all three levels defensively. I wouldn't hate to see an interior lineman and then skill position, like take some flyers on some running backs and wide receivers down there. So, I mean, it was a bad team. Like they got on a fun run, but they weren't beating anybody good when the Shuck train was rolling. They were still a bad team. They have needs everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Panthers. Big expenditure on the defense with Lloyd and Phillips, right? I mean, that was necessary. You had to pay to get those players who are relatively impactful and could really turn around your defense. But you paid a lot for them.
It was your biggest need, like edge/defensive line. Just that was your biggest need. So it's either that or spend a high pick on somebody, and you get someone a little more proven. A draft pick can always just be a player who never works out. God, who did they add? Who was the tackle they added yesterday? Because
Stone Forsythe.
Stone's Forsythe. Yeah. I mean, the icky thing is interesting. Like, what was it? The knee tendon? I don't know where he's going to end up or how long that's going to take to get to feeling better, if he's ever going to play as effectively as in the past. So, yeah, I don't know. You spend a lot of money on the defense. The defense should be better, but your offensive line may be worse, and you still need to make some stuff happen in the draft. That said, I said it about the Saints, so I guess I have to say it about the Panthers. It's a division that, if A, B, and C all clicks, like, oh, we're going to win 10 games this year. You're in the mix.
Right now, the division odds for the NFC South are Bucks over Falcons over Saints over Panthers. That feels backwards to me.
Correct.
Right? Like it feels flat out backwards.
Falcons being second is
completely in the blind. I would put Panthers over Saints over Bucks over Falcons. What do you think?
The Falcons don't feel like they can finish second or third to me. They have so much talent on that roster, especially offensively. Like if the offense clicks, it's a really good team, and if it falters, it's a really bad team. Doesn't it feel like we went into it's what we said about the Vikings last year. And it's funny because the Vikings actually did win some games late to make the record look better. But, I mean, we can all admit that was a pretty bad team. And it was going to be like, hey, if JJ gets it, there's so much talent around him that it's going to be good. And if JJ doesn't and we get Max, then we didn't even know we were going to get Max Brosmer at times. There's going to be some really bad games. And I think the Falcons are kind of that. They're Jekyll Hyde. And it's all based on, the lefties in the room.
Okay. Let's talk about the teams where it's not clear what you're doing. and who what is the plan here? This bucket includes the Falcons, it includes the Colts, it includes the Steelers, it includes the Vikings, and
I don't want to include the Vikings in that one. I think the Vikings are clearly a bucket 2 team.
You think the Vikings are investing around a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy?
A bucket 1. I don't think it's. I think the Kyler signing is imminent.
It's happening. You think that's happening?
It just there doesn't seem to be another.
This is why they're in bucket. This is why they're in bucket 3. What is this? Is this really the plan? You're going to pursue a championship with Kyler Murray as your quarterback?
It's a pretty high draft pick who's shown flashes, and I don't know that he's ever had. Honestly, if you wanted to sell me on like Darnold 2.0, and I know they're completely different quarterbacks, but it's like a guy who's, he was drafted high and he had all the talents in the world in college, and he came into this and he was supposed to be great, and then maybe he didn't have the coaches and the people around him to make it work out, and then he shows up in Minnesota and it all clicks together. Like Kyler's, I'd have more faith in him doing something than I would have ever had Darnold doing what he did. I think Kyler can absolutely thrive up here. And it feels like just all the reports are saying like it's just going to happen. We're just kind of fleshing out the details at this point. So
who's the odd man out between J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, Max Brosmer, John Wolford, and Brett Rippon?
I mean, the last 3.
I'm just joking. Obviously, they're all the odd man out.
I mean, I think you keep J. Obviously, you keep JJ on the roster. It's a cheap contract. It's a rookie contract that you see if you can develop him somewhere, and then if there's some, you hope you end up in a Malik Willis situation where he has to play a couple games and you can trade him away in a year or two. But Kyler has a ton of talent when he's healthy, and he just he's been through some bad coaches.
Vikings are in bucket 3, but you're gonna put them in the glass half full bucket 3.
I'm moving him into bucket 1 because it's
nonsense. That's crazy.
It's an established enough quarterback.
Glass half full or glass half empty for the Falcons in bucket 3. I know you were just talking about they could be 1, they could be 4. What the fuck's going on?
I want to say the same thing about Tua. So a guy who had a ton of success in college, highly drafted, all this, but he didn't have to deal with a Cliff and who was the knob dick with the shaved head and punching the DiMaccardo, Jonathan Gannon.
Gannon, yeah.
He had an elite offensive play caller. You can say what you want about McDaniel as a head coach and a leader of men and a thing, but he should have been able to get a lot out of what he, working with Mike McDaniel down there. And at times he looked really stupid. Like that was a stupid throw that a stupid kid would make. And you're too old for this shit at this point. So I'm on the fence on Tua. I can see it working out because he has the talent, but we've seen him just digress into just rookie shit. And there's the obvious worry that he's like a concussion away from, Chief smothering him in a bed before he breaks the window to escape.
Is there a world where Penix starts all 17 games for the Falcons?
No.
Is there a world where Tua starts all 17 games for the Falcons?
Is there a world anywhere where Tua starts 17 games for anybody?
That's what I'm asking.
Remember when he got that chunk ripped out of his arm? That guy gets hurt a lot. No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like it. It can happen.
So do we live in a world where the Falcons are going to have 7 games from Tua, 6 games from Penix, 4 games from Easton Stick? Like what is the actual start distribution look like for this team?
I don't even have a guess. I'm not even going to spend. I'm not spending rubbing 2 neurons together and trying to think about that.
Okay.
There's no tell. I have no idea what the plan is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
It was, and to be fair, some people say, well, they invested a high draft pick into Penix. The people who are running the show right now did not, unless you want to count Arthur Blank.
Okay.
Nobody who's there is married to Penix right now. They went out and got somebody for a reason.
Okay.
It does it makes me wonder too about the third guy there.
Easton Stick. I don't think there's anything there. All right. Dolphins.
No, Kirk Cousins is going to go somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's not on the Falcons though right now, is he? Didn't he get cut?
I don't know if he's actually been.
I'm pretty
I think
sure
he just has to be cut before the 15th.
Not on a roster right now.
I don't know if he's actually cut yet. I'll have to check into that.
Malik Willis for the Dolphins. You got a grade on this one? You got a guess as to whether he is like the guy?
I disagree with Patrick. I think they've stated their intentions that they are going to cut him, but he has not been cut yet, which is the same thing. He has technically been cut in everything but the paperwork. It's too early to tell. I haven't put enough time into evaluating anything the Titans did. I will say, for his sake, motherfucker did not have anybody around him. I mean, some of his best players were other rookies and just jabronis that found their way into that roster. He had a coach who didn't understand the rules of football. He had to deal with a really shitty interim. Or who are you talking? Did you say Willis or did you say Ward?
Malik Willis, yeah.
Okay, I'm talking Cam Ward. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We're in off-season mode too. Oh no, Malik Willis is God. He's Jesus Christ reincarnate. And he's going to win at least 3 Super Bowls down there. I don't know. That's a fun one too. Kind of rebuild down there, all new everything. And you have like I said, I mentioned it before. He's a big lotto ticket. He looked really good, but it was like, I mean, what did he throw? Like 50 fucking passes? That's not enough to evaluate anything against anybody. So he could be a real true upside guy, or he could be, Matt Flynn. That's a good comp. The only problem is I don't think they have a young Russ on that roster at all. So we'll see if they take somebody in the 3rd round out of North Carolina State. Or was he? Who did he play for second? NC State or Wisconsin?
Wisconsin second, NC State first, I believe.
I can never remember.
Malik Willis comes over with Jeff Hafley, so we're going to find out if that is a successful, kind of partnership. Obviously, they were both Packers last year. Bobby Slowick took over as the OC. That was a little bit of a boner killer. When I saw that news. Jalen Waddle's still about. Devin A. Chain's still about. After that, the skill position group is pretty brutal.
So I'm on record as not loving hiring a defensive coordinator to be a head coach unless you have, like a Kubiak. And obviously you don't anymore in Seattle, but that was such a perfect marriage. You have a head coach who focused on the defense, but you had not a tried and true, honestly, at that point. He'd had
an up and comer.
He came from the right spots and it worked out. You need a really good play caller. I don't know that the Miami has this, but there's these teams every year that we're down on and they surprise us. And I think later in the off season or somewhere in the summer, we're going to have to pick like 5 teams each and be like, one of these teams is going to be a huge surprise one way or the other. Like our all volatility starting 5. And Miami is definitely in that because, maybe Slowick, sometimes it's situation, Slowick showed flashes, almost like we say about with quarterbacks. And then things started to devolve a little. I don't know if he learned some lessons in that and he can be a good OC down here again, but he has some weapons. And if Willis works out, I think it'll be partly because of him. That's it. Like I'm down on this team. I don't like the hirings. I don't love putting a lot of eggs into a Malik Willis basket. Somebody had to do it, but they could be a high volatility. Like holy shit, Buffalo's behind Miami now. Like, well, what are we doing here in Buffalo? Like, are they ever is this window ever gonna open again for them? Now suddenly they're the 3rd best team. The Jets are still a 3-win team, such as life. But the Miami jumping Buffalo, it's in the realm of possibilities.
Okay.
Miami winning 4 games. Also,
very much
in that realm.
Yeah. Colts.
Yeah, we kind of touched on this.
They seem to think they're going to start
Jones
Daniel Jones, and they're kind of keeping it together, right? I mean, they obviously Pittman's gone, but Alec Pierce and Josh Downs is quietly one. That's quietly Alex Pierce, Josh Downs, and Tyler Warren. No one's going to think off the top of their head like who has like the best trio of weapons, and is going to say Colts right away. But that trio is pretty excellent. Second can call a game. Taylor still got some juice. Offensive line looks okay. Defense do anything to tell you that they know what they're doing? Arden Key was a little bit of a why move.
I feel like that defense was good when it was healthy. I have to go back and look at my numbers, but it feels like they had a lot of injuries to start the season, and the offense was keeping them afloat anyway. And then by the time the defense got healthy, it didn't matter because they had suffered the injuries they did, and they were in their free fall.
Buckner maybe still has some juice. Charvarius Ward didn't retire. That's positive for them. They get a full year of Sauce Gardner. That might help. Kenny Moore is still playing for them. There's definitely, I think there's definitely a world where you can squint and talk yourselves into if Daniel Jones is healthy, the Colts are live in the South. But I don't know if that's going to be a popular opinion to where the prices are no good.
Yeah. No, the interesting team because we have this weird prior with them the first half of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, this was a really good team and they were making it happen. Then they went all in and then they lost their quarterback. And, that's how that's going to go from there. You're going to free fall, but it sounds like a team that could use a first round pick, says Patrick. Yeah. Well, that is
heading to the Jets.
That's not something they have. Should we is that everybody for rookie buckets?
That's the bucket 3, which is like what's like it's a little oh no, I'm sorry. There was one more very clear. What the hell is going on here, bucket? And that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I was gonna say what's going on here?
In my opinion, it is 50% Rodgers, 40% Cousins, 10%. God knows what the fuck they're gonna do. Like
Cousins, is there any smoke there? Cousins might be a Steeler.
There is because he's. They've said they're going to cut him. They're going to cut him here. I joked around about that. And if Rodgers says, "I want to go spend time with my imaginary wife," you have to do something at this point. I think new coach has a little bit of leeway because you can say, "Well, it's first year and I didn't have a quarterback and I can get away with it," but you got to kind of put something out there. You can't just punt your year one there.
Their moves to get Pittman for a song was good. Dowdle.
They have two good receivers. That's the other thing, too. If you go out and get a wide receiver like that and you went out and got not Kelvin Austin. You have Kelvin Austin. You have MVS. You have Scotty Miller. You have this decent backup crew. But you went and got Pittman this year and you went and got Metcalf last year. You can't go out there and roll out fucking Will Howard or Skylar Thompson. Even Mason Rudolph feels really bad. Like you have to sell you, even if every bone in your body is saying like, oh boy, he's pretty old too, and he blew the same thing up.
They kind of have like a decent 2 to 50.
They
have like a decent 2 to 53.
It's
decent,
and they still have a good defense. That's what I'm saying. They went and got that wide receiver. They're not going to go out and say we're starting Mason Rudolph if Rodgers doesn't return. I think part of that getting Pittman was let's entice Rodgers to return by getting him another weapon. Maybe that'll help. I think he's probably still 50-50 because at this point, he can just retire if he wants.
I guess with this roster, do you go old head, hope he has one last ride? Or do you go reclamation project, the younger guy?
Who's left? And don't say Mason Rudolph.
I was going to say younger reclamation guy would be like an Anthony Richardson type.
There's that, I guess.
He's obviously got some chemistry with Pittman too. I thought he did. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I'm thinking more he was chemistry with Pierce, but
other options out there are Russell Wilson.
Not good.
I believe Jimmy Garoppolo is free agent
that
now.
Doesn't work for me.
He was on a year or two with LA, and I think he's up. Flacco is younger than Rodgers. If you want to say that, you have Tyrod Taylor, who's a free agent. And you have Zach Wilson, who's a free agent. And I think anything lower than that is really, really stretching it, because then you're into the make him dance with Trey Lance, the Carson Wentz's, Josh Johnson, Brandon Allen.
No.
Josh Johnson's 39. I mean, yeah, you're really, unless you can talk yourself into something crazy like, hey, Sam Howell's 25. Maybe we can do something. Jake Browning, Brett Ripp. Yeah, it's a really tough sell.
Okay. Gonna be very interested to see what that ultimately ends up. Because if it's Aaron Rodgers, I'm out. If it's not, I'm kind of curious what the plan is. And I
don't know. Rodgers wasn't bad last year.
I don't know, man. He was a statue. He could not handle the pass rush, and you're going to have to go through a difficult pass rush to get through the AFC. To get one win in the AFC, you're going to have to go through a tough pass rush.
I don't know. You don't have to face Trey Hendrickson when you play Cincy twice.
I saw a post that Max Crosby is courting the Bengals, so we'll see.
Can you imagine? You thought you didn't have to end up with
Myles Garrett twice, Max Crosby twice, Trey Hendrickson twice, same as it ever was.
If you ended up in Cincy, that would be very funny.
It would. All right. Let's finalize our bucket 4, which is apparently just not competing.
Dumpster fires.
Yes. Dumpster fires. Raiders, Cardinals, Jets, Browns. Is there anyone I'm missing?
Raiders are a weird one because they're spending, and they also have Max Crosby back on the roster, which is interesting. And they're going to get their quarterback. And something about this fucking kid. I'm not good at quarterback evaluation as far as like watching their mechanics and seeing like, hey, this guy translates to the NFL, but he's got moxie. He's got that. He's got that Burrow light where it's like this kid he's too stupid to think he can lose a game. He's too stupid moxie, to think that he doesn't have the part of the brain that stops him from beating you. I don't know. I like this. I like this Indiana kid. So
I didn't realize he had moxie.
He has a ton of moxie.
I'm joking. Obviously.
Poise. He has the poise.
Does he have any gumption?
A ton of it. He's also sneaky fast.
Oh wow, really? Oh man. All right.
Gives a great post-game presser.
They may have gotten some good players in this free agent haul. It included Jalen Naylor, Tyler Linderbaum, Kwity Paye, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean, and Teron Johnson, and Matt Gay.
Jalen Naylor's a sneaky good one. He had some nice
here's the
catches
problem.
Minnesota.
These are all sneaky good players, but they paid a fucking premium for.
I know. I don't know what they're doing
for every guy.
I think they think they're good. It's weird.
It didn't. It was more to me like they had to pay a premium to get him to come to this team. Right?
Maybe. I don't know. Like,
it felt like everyone the Raiders signed was like, okay, this is a long-term answer, but for me to do this, you better pay me because I know that over the balance of this deal, I'm not really competing. Right? That's kind of the sense that I got. Meanwhile, all of the guys the Jets signed, I got the sense of like, oh, I really don't want to be here. This has got to be a 1-year deal, and hopefully I do well enough so that somebody else comes and gets me next year, right? Like that's sort of the sense that I got with these two sad sacks of franchises. Is there any signal there? This was the Raiders got guys who are bona fide NFL players, but they had to pay a premium?
Maybe. I still think it falls in the same thing we said off the top. It's just everything's more expensive because the price went up.
Okay.
The salary cap went up, but I don't understand their roster building is like, this is the roster building you do 2 years from now, where it's like, all right,
or
hey,
next year. Yeah, next year.
Yeah, this young quarterback's good. We just need a few extra pieces around our young quarter. Like they think they're at where the Patriots are at right now, where it's like, hey, we're year 3 of a young quarterback. Let's get one more good wide receiver.
Yeah.
Let's get a few more pieces and let's pay them because we can.
You're making a really good point here.
Wild. No, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's fun.
You're making a really good point here because that is a very, in my opinion, a very high likelihood of backfiring. You're putting established guys in the way of young players you could develop and have for cheaper.
So it has now passed 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
I think it was the actual start of free agency. So within the last 3 minutes, Kirk Cousins and Kyler Murray were released.
Okay.
Officially. I think they just had to wait. They had to wait for the, they sent the fax and don't release this till 3.
Understood. All right. Jets are doing what? Are they?
And Kirk is a Jet.
Are you serious?
No, I made that up.
Oh.
Can you imagine? The Jets are running it back. You know what? The Jets, for everything I said about the Raiders are going to be kind of a fun team, but they're doing it wrong, which is whatever.
Yes,
the Jets
agreed.
are doing it right. The Jets know where they stand. They said, you know what?
Now year 2 of literally like, we are not going to be competitive.
I know.
Right?
It's funny because it doesn't matter because they still sell their season tickets and they have shitty owners. They don't care. They don't give a rat's ass.
Oh,
so the Jets, the Jets are resigned to suck this year. If they truly do have talked themselves into anything, as far as like, hey, Geno might be good. Oh, here's one. Rossini says Kirk might go to Las Vegas. Rossini's,
hate that.
Rossini was pretty bad a couple years ago, and then I gave her. She had a redemption tour. She got a bunch right. She's kind of back in the doghouse with me again. She's been wrong a little bit.
Let's talk about the Jets revamping their defense on the fly. Ready, Andy? They bring in, was it Tavondre Sweat via trade? I think they got him via trade. David Onyemata, Kingsley Enagbare. Demario Davis. Ooh, man, how old is Demario Davis? 40?
It's gonna be 38.
Joseph Osai, Nashawn Wright, Dane Belton, and Minka Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick was via trade. Is that right? This is very much a rented defense of guys who are probably washed.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're gonna put a C- product out there. We're gonna get D+ results. We're gonna fire Aaron Glenn at the end of the year.
Dude, what is the likelihood he gets fired this year? 98?
I think they keep him all. I think they keep him all year anyway.
I'm not saying it's going to happen during the season. I'm just saying
he's going to finish his career with the Jets.
March 11th, the March 11th, 2027, the start of the new year next year. Aaron Glenn being the head coach of the Jets is less than 2%, less than 1%, less than 1%.
We're talking skim milk. I'm going to start saying that when something is less than 1%, I'm going to start calling it skim milk.
Do you think at some point he asks out in the season and tries to get a job as like a defensive consultant for the Lions or something? Like, does he at some point work on the next chapter?
I think he's well respected enough defensively that he would catch on anyway as like a DC or a assistant DC, no matter what.
First day of the new year, and the chances that your team has the number 1 overall pick next year are very high, and the chances that your team retains its current head coach are very low. Congratulations, you're the New York Jets. This is amazing.
The Jets.
Meet the Jets. The other 2 teams in this bucket are the Cardinals and the Browns. The Cardinals, like, should we just fold this team and play with 31 this year? Like, why do they exist?
To play the other teams in their division?
What are we doing You want to talk? Should we even? You know what? Forget it. Let's not even talk Cardinals. Browns. The Cleveland Browns.
I mean, they're gonna roll. They're kind of. I mean, rolling Jacoby Brissett out. Gardner Minshew's on the roster too. Rolling him out with the roster you have, I guess I just feel bad for the juniors, the Marvin Harrisons and the Paris Johnsons juniors, because they're pretty good players and they're stuck. And I guess Trey McBride as well. But boy, like it's just Jets West, right?
Kind of feels like it. Jets Central, the Cleveland Browns, Andy.
Yes, the Jets by the lake.
What do you think they're doing at quarterback? Is this really going to be Deshaun Watson? Let's see what we got.
I hope
it sounds like it is.
I hope so much.
I want it to be. I really want that to be what they try to sell to their fan base.
You know what I want? Yeah, he's a sex pest, and we shouldn't root for this guy. But
yeah, we gave him $200 million, and he ruined our decade.
I think the funniest outcome.
Yeah, he ruined the career of a Hall of Famer and Myles Garrett. Yeah, sorry, good. Funniest outcome.
The funniest outcome is Deshaun Watson plays and he's good.
You know what the funniest outcome is? There's an even funnier outcome.
Well, he goes to prison.
No. He has
Daniel
Jones 2025 campaign. 8-1. And then
shreds a leg. You got me. You know what? I thought I took them all, and you took the Queen of Spades from my ass. Yeah, that's really good. If he's like, and everybody, I'm sorry, Cleveland Browns fans, because you don't deserve this. You've had a tough time of things. At least you had a cool movie made about your baseball team. But man, it's been a long time, and I'm sorry, but that is very funny. If they're like, and they're on the cover of, we don't do Sports Illustrated anymore, but everybody in the media is talking about like the Browns are sneaky good. Or is this a team that can win the AFC? And like in a spoof movie where his leg explodes into like 300 ways.
8-2 into their bye, and then
and drafting. Why do people keep making movies about Cleveland sports teams?
Oh God! Oh my God! That would be amazing.
LeBron was in a movie. I don't know if he counts as Cleveland.
I don't think they're like if Deshaun Watson is a top 10 quarterback this year, is the roster outside of Watson good enough for them to actually be 8-2? Because I'm not sure that it is.
What do you have down for their moves?
Quincy Williams comes in on the line for the linebacking core. That's a backfill of Bush, I guess. So lateral. They're turning over their entire offensive line, Andy. You know how you have a continuity score when you grade an offensive line year over year? I think everyone besides Wyatt Teller's not coming back, right? Didn't they say they're moving on from Wyatt Teller? They may.
He's a UFA. Like he can go anywhere he wants.
Okay.
He's going to be.
Yeah, I heard that.
Someone's going to sign him. Someone's going to sign him.
We're talking
even if it's less. He's like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, we're talking an entire new starting five of retreads. Maybe DeJuan Jones holds on to his job at left tackle, but he was not very good.
They have Cam Robinson. Is he a free agent though?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. Things are moving. Everything's moving right now. I don't know the answers.
All right. So
I do know
outside
that
of the offensive line.
Offensive line is bad. Skill position group is
just
a tight end and a running back. It's a tight end and a running back.
Judy, Tillman, and then you got if Judkins comes back healthy, Dylan Sampson, and Joku is probably gone. You're right. Harold Fannon's good though as a youngster. If we get some healthy players, and then you got Myles Garrett and Malik Collins and Denzel Ward and Grant Delpit. You have some names. You have Tyson Campbell. Like the defense could be above average. And the Drew Carey show. Yeah. Get easily distracted. I'm talking myself into the Browns being good. That's where we're at. It is March, guys. Sorry.
Hi, Browns might be good.
What was your favorite
Watson
Drew Carey show?
DeAndre Hopkins.
What was the best Drew Carey show theme song?
Cleveland Rocks.
Was it?
I think so.
There were 3.
I just remember Cleveland Rocks stands
There's
out.
Cleveland Rocks. I think it is the best, but there's Moon Over Parma.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was 5 O'Clock World.
Wow. Jeez. How did you pull that out? How do you pull that out of the back of your brain?
I don't know. I've not watched that show in 20 years. All the little chicks with the crimson lips. Cleveland. Yeah, that's the best one.
That was the best one.
That's a pretty decent show.
Truthfully. It was a good show.
I finished my Madman rewatch.
Got Drew Carey, the most coveted gig in
Madman.
Madman,
starring Don Draper. I finished that. Boy, that's such a good show.
Okay. I think we've actually given free agency more time than it deserved so far. Anything else you want to touch on, or should we save it for future?
When are the Oscars?
Sunday. You got any action?
Okay, we should get no, not really.
This year's markets have been so fucking weird in the acting. I'm glad I'm not actively. I'm glad I'm not. He looks like he's dead. Like it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. That shocking to me. Shocking.
Well, to be fair, in the movie, Marty Supreme, and that's what he's nominated for. Correct.
Correct.
How many characters does he play, Drew?
He only plays one.
I rest my case here.
Here's the problem with Sinners, though, is that I found
it's a fucking weird vampire movie. I love Sinners. It was a good movie.
I thought Michael B. Jordan did a pretty incredible job of capturing smoke, but I didn't really buy him as Stack. You know what I mean?
You pulled an Andy on me. You kind of flipped it on me there.
Yeah,
he was excellent in The Wire. One of the second saddest scene in The Wire, I think, is when who's it, Pook and God, who's the other guy? They have to shoot him.
Don't know. But yeah, the supporting actor and actress flipping favorites has caught me by surprise. Michael B. Jordan flipping favorite has caught me by surprise. I'm not going to be. I honestly, I think it could still go original chalk on all that shit. And
yeah,
I would not put a lot of faith in the market has this right. And I don't really, because I just don't understand. I just don't understand why stuff is moving. That said, it's going to be a terrible Oscars. The state of things, there's no jokes to be had. Conan O'Brien, I love Conan O'Brien. Like, he going to be in a good headspace with his, last year? Like, there is a lot of like real, wow, we're going to do this. We're going to have the Oscars. We're going to give a bunch of people awards for acting and pat each other on the back and give thank you, statements and make political.
I don't know. Is Drew watched The Wire?
Yeah.
Okay. Top Wire.
Baltimore.
I don't know.
The top one is
when word out for Max Crosby.
Yeah.
They bring Max Crosby to the high rises, and then they actually just send him back to the pit.
The best scene is the one where Idris Elba says, "Get word out, we're back up." Second best scene is the one where Michael, what's his name, comes walking around the corner with the shotgun coming out of his trench coat.
Omar coming. Farmer Vidal, baby.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I don't know what my favorite moment is. Anything the Dookie did. I'm a big Dookie guy.
Okay. Hey, anyway, do you have you have no skin in the Oscars?
No. Watching old shows and movies like that, the best thing about it now is because we're so ingrained in like instant everything media, staring at our phones. Like when you see a GIF or a meme in the show that you haven't watched for a while, that always like tickles me. It's such a stupid thing, but like when he does this or Weebay, he's like, oh, Shorty was a cop. Oh, like when you see those GIFs, that always just cracks me up. I don't have any action. I'm not going to watch either. I do the thing. This is the best take I ever had about the Oscars is like, don't watch the Oscars, just scroll Twitter. Like let Twitter update you. There's no reason to watch 4 hours to find out who wins.
I would like to see the In Memoriam. It's going to be very emotional this year.
Holy shit! Did you watch it at the Actors Awards?
No, I'm sure it
was like 40 minutes long, and it was. Usually the In Memoriam is like hey, here's a bunch of guys like, oh, character actor, person I didn't know, director, that
Editor,
one thing in the 80s.
cinematographer.
And then
cool.
at the end, you have like one or two big ones. Fuck me.
It
There's
was
like
big.
14,
It was a monster year.
14 big names in memoriam. It's like I kind of forget how many big names we lost last year.
Yeah, I have come full circle, by the way, on One Battle After Another is clearly the best movie, and I hope it wins all the awards. If it gets like shafted on some for Sinners, I'm going to be pretty bummed because
Did you watch
Sinners does not age well. No.
You should get super high and watch Train Dreams. But like Sativa.
Okay.
Like
all
just
right.
really, really chill. I
right.
liked it, but it didn't go anywhere. Begonia.
We'll save.
You've seen Begonia?
I have seen Begonia. 9/10 of a great movie.
Yeah.
The final act, they did not stick the landing.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Yeah. Not the strongest year. I will agree with Drew. That's my final take. One Battle After Another was the best, and it was a flawed film too.
You know what? It was a flawed film. You know what the biggest flaw is?
Not having only Sean Penn on screen all the time.
Tiana Taylor was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see her come back in the final act, but whatever. No, the biggest flaw was the title. Absolutely fucking terrible. One Battle After Another. You know how hard that has been to kind of carry conversations and talking about movies? They needed a much better title.
Well, honestly, it was only like 2 battles.
It was only 2 battles. That's right. That's right.
It was a little long. Yeah, this is definitely what I'm looking forward to next week. I have read this book.
Oh, you did?
And which is funny.
Did you like it?
Usually I wait. Yeah, very good book. And people are saying the movie is great. And Gosling is, it's Gosling.
Yeah,
Guy just knows how to entertain.
Yeah, kid.
It's like a better looking Paul Rudd.
Yeah, we'll save basketball takes for when we get closer to the playoffs. I think everybody pretty much knows what I'm cheering for, which is Thunder over Celtics. I got nothing else.
Call it a day. We'll reconvene at some point.
Oh yeah, tennis. Cheering for Alcaraz and Sabalenka. So chalky. I like 4 favorites in the NBA finals.
You bore me.
Indian Wells markets. Although, man, did you see what Iga did to Mukova? Yikes! She's starting to show her teeth a little.
This young, is she French? Mboko.
Oh man, that was a big win
she's
yesterday.
Very fun.
I
haven't got to watch a lot of her yet.
Movie yesterday. Poof, that was awesome.
She trucked her.
She won Canada last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she feels like somebody that's going to be in a final before the year's up.
I'm not sure actually if it was the Coupe Roger or the Rogers Cup, but she won one of those too.
Fair enough. And that's tennis.
Only got a couple more weeks of data before you got to make your Masters pick. What are you gonna do?
Pick the best players. Tough week this week. No TGL, sorry.